We got the strawberry chocolate truffle. Now, for those of you that were here then where we had our candy class, we made something called a brigadeiro. It's a Brazilian type of truffle. This is, the first step of this is real similar to that, but it is a strawberry flavored truffle instead. So what we're going to do, I'm going to take condensed milk, tablespoon of butter, and then instead of the 3 tablespoons of chocolate Nestle Quick, we're going to use the strawberry. There we go. Now this is that one where you got to stir quick. All right. You're going to let that thicken up, just enough to where it holds in there. Yeah, and unfortunately this is definitely one of those that you're not going to walk away from this, because if you do, you're going to come back and it's going to be black. If you see slightly dark in there, that's perfectly fine. It's after you let that, you'll see where it starts bubbling up throughout the entire thing there. Make sure and scrape those edges though. There it goes, starting to get where it's all the bubbles to it. And once you cook this down, you want to let this cool down for at least 30 minutes, which makes it long enough to where you can handle it. Because you don't want to be trying to form little balls out of this while it's hot. Because especially when it's sticky like this, it's going to stick your hand and it's going to keep burning.
Did you put marshmallows in it?
Marshmallows? Actually, if you wanted to use marshmallows, you could actually use it in this. I'll show you where after you let it cool down. You know, when we roll it, before we roll into the cookie crumbs, take the miniature marshmallows and roll it around, you know, encase the marshmallow with this, and that would work out just as fine. Okay. Now it's got it good and thick. You want to pull this off and let it cool down. Which of course I've already made some, so. Alrighty. Now if you want to, you can get a melon baller or something like that and form it. But I think you'll find it works out better just to do this by hand. Now I've been working with the gloves. If you need to, put a little bit of oil on the gloves to help it roll better. It's folded in there. You kind of have to pinch that into it, like so. Get you some wax paper, which I had, there it is. I'd lose my head if it wasn't attached to me. Okay. Now you can use a toothpick, you can use a fork.
Why do you put the vegetable shortening in your chocolate?
That's what I'm getting ready to show you here, because one thing that it does, it gives a really nice bright sheen, but also it helps it from getting gritty, your chocolate from getting gritty like that. Okay.
Yeah, you using butter, Michael, or lard?
That is basically lard. You know, you want to use, you don't want to use the liquid oil because it will separate. Yeah.
Shortening?
So you want to just use the shortening. Now, if you want to, you can use real butter too.
Okay.
It will help it to melt and give you that shine to it, especially when you make these. And it also gives us like butter flavor. But you got to be careful because if you overcook it, it'll still get that graininess too. Okay. In which, if that does happen, if you overcook that, if you add a little bit of shortening, it'll help smooth it back out too. All right. You take that, go ahead and just drop it right in the chocolate. Bring that fork underneath there. Just layer that over. You want to make sure and drip that excess off. Scrape the side of the pan there.
Would it be easier to make the balls and then put it in the freezer and let them get hard, and then drop them
Yeah,
in that
you could do
chocolate?
that. But with this, right here, that's why we had this, when you let this in the refrigerator, this stuff will harden up pretty good. The next recipe that we're getting ready to use, it's better if you freeze it than if you put it in just a regular refrigerator. Okay. And then you can also take some white chocolate, melt it down just the same way, and just take your little spoon and just drizzle over it, you know, to give it nice little decorative edges if you want. And another little thing that you can do, they actually make molds for these, but one of the best molds you can get is just an ice tray. Take an ice tray, pat this down in it, let it cool down, and then pull them out if you want a consistent look. That's where if you really want to get fancy with it, but most people, they just want, you know, they're going for quick and easy and the flavor and stuff for the holidays. And this is definitely one that'd be great that they love.